Okay, good morning. Welcome back to the Harmonic Trading Club, HTC Mornings. In this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, just slightly. So you see how we started looking at different sectors last week, QQQ, SPY, etc. This time, what we're going to do is look at the actual sector indices that have all the little stocks up in them. So that'll like really help us analyze where the money is moving per sector. So if you're looking at the screen right here, you see the XLK. Now, a lot of people don't cover the sectors, but you're going to see us start moving in that direction now because it's just a better gauge to see what the entire group is doing. So we're going to really start moving that way and then just working through the entire sectors because it's really not always a reason to look at the individual stock breakdowns because typically these hedge funds and things like that, these big time investors, they're usually moving these in a group together like these sectors. So if you notice inside of the XLK sector indice, Apple was there, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Meta, Google. Excuse me. So our big dogs, the big heavy money is already there. So we can kind of tell and gauge just by looking at the XLK indice. So that being said, let's jump right into it. It's not going to take us a long time, but we are still going to get some very, very good pertinent information as far as where we are. Remember, that's the theme of where we were last week. Where is the market? What's the health of the market? What's the condition? Is it structurally sound? Is it harmonically sound? Which way is it going? Okay, is it out of control? Is it in a frenzy? Where's the investor confidence? Where's the accumulation? All things of that sort, okay? So, good morning. Simon is back in the building with us, but remember, I'm not going to be able to really go back and forth in the chat, but thanks for coming. I appreciate you for showing up with us this morning. Hopefully, you guys will get a lot of really, really good information from this one. So, we want to start off by looking at the dollar because that's kind of like, is the USD helping or hurting, in terms of risk? And right now, off top, I'm looking at the weekly chart. You can see. So remember. So always be like a rinse and repeat. What's happening is, are we structurally sound? Okay. So no one will be able to come to you and say, oh my God, the US dollar is falling and this and that. Right now, to be honest with you, the US dollar is in a stage of recovery. If I jump back, right? I mean, really, really big. 3 month, right? Okay, we would have one of the most powerful setups that you can get. I don't really want to jump into it because it's too early. The true level of conviction for a full recovery on US dollar is not completed yet. But this would be a 2618, okay? 2618 trade double bottom, followed by break and close, taking out the V-neck, followed by 618 golden ratio retracement. I'm sorry, 9 straight months. Okay, most of the rest of 2025 was the dollar trying to regain some strength. But again, it's really not there yet because it still needs to start taking out some highs to get back to where it came from. So again, back here, like where are we? Because to be honest with you, a trader investor is really like, okay, where are we right now? So I just want to pull you up out of those day-to-day whipsaws, that you hear in the media. Right now, as it pertains to the dollar, going back to April, where that's close to a year, it's like 9 months. Really, really nothing, no real true decision made in terms of risk for dollar. Okay, so we needed to set the stage with USD, okay, because everything else funnels off that. Now, okay, we will go jump into our tech index XLK. Remember, it's going to be the same thing, okay? Pretty stable, okay? Even going back a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, nothing really happening. Now, remember, in true harmonic trading club fashion, if there is a harmonic reaction, I'm going to point that out. So back around early December, you're going to see this. Is expected to get this type of fall like that, okay? So almost nothing anybody can do about it because it's a harmonic reaction off a bearish cipher pattern, recovery up out of that, and then sideways movement. So in terms of tech, right? And we hear these conversations every day. Nobody's gonna be able to tell you, oh my God, this is doing this and this is doing that. You know now because I showed you the XLK indice, and you can always go look at it yourself. what that major group is doing, okay? Your NVIDIAs, your AMDs, your Metas, Facebook, Apple, you'll know by looking at the indices, right? Real quick breakdown. Said we're probably not going to be here long at all. I will say this though, okay? Little hesitant because that roof, that ceiling is there, all right? So we don't really want to get too technical on these, and I don't like to make projections and targets and stuff on these. But if this 3-bar reversal has something to say, okay, engulfing candle, perfect doji, trigger and entry, confirming closing above the doji, that you could have action, okay? You could be breaking up out of that to go back to where the market was. So even though I didn't want to, I kind of had to. So it's based off of that 3-bar reversal. Not a lot, but if it's there, I gotta give it some attention. And then so this 3-bar reversal is a signal that we could break and close. This 127 is the extension of this low to this high, 100, somewhere in that range. Okay, to put now this would put the tech sector back on the move. Okay, this will put the tech sector back in trend. Will potentially, if. Okay, so next thing we need to do is go look at and see how that compares to NASDAQ or something like QQQ. Okay, so NAS 100, pretty big. NASDAQ 100, pretty big. That is kind of similar to when I talked about DJI and those 30 giants. NASDAQ 100 giant tech, okay, kind of separating you out. So we're a little bit larger than XLK, okay, but still strong enough to give us an indication. A couple of things. That ceiling is there. So remember, this gives us a chance to look at a baseline. If you notice, when we were on NDX, we talked about having to get out that ceiling. Watch this. On the indice itself, we have to get out of XLK, the tech sector. We have to get out that ceiling. And we have to do the same thing on the NASDAQ, okay? Now, it has already started reacting from, again, one of those same things, 3-bar, engulfing candle, doji, trigger and entry, and it got the reaction, expected distribution, but now still fighting with this range. So for your sake, remember, because we don't want you all over the place, for you to know, nobody can really say anything's really happening. Right now, I'm really dealing with a whole lot of resistance at 25,008. Got to get up out of that. Got to break and close up out of 26,173 before you know anything. But right now, structurally stable, structurally sound, not off like a rocket, not in a free fall where we don't know what's going on. I wish there was something harmonic here, but there isn't. Okay, so NASDAQ 100. Moving over to, of course, this is the leader, okay? NVIDIA is the leader in the XLK, not by the price of the asset, or there's a lot of stuff that costs more than $185, but by the weight of the company, okay? NVIDIA, so that's the leader. Remember, same story as I talked about on the NASDAQ and on the XLK. Moving sideways, okay? Stability. Is it structurally sound? Yes. Not in a free fall, nothing really too much to talk about, unless you're going to start moving closer or looking for setups and things of that sort. I can tell you right now, it's pretty not anything on a 4-hour chart, really nothing there. But moving sideways, okay, that's why I have that blocked off, okay? Harmonically sound, harmonic after harmonic, okay? Bearish Garley, goes reacts a little bit. That pattern combined with 3-bar reversal, full targets, getting close to the 786 of the bear cipher. Harmonically sound, structurally sound, not really too much to see unless you're the type of person that just has to be active every day looking for something to do. Okay? Next, big money. One of the richest companies in the world, Meta. Okay? Meta, and I will say this too, still structurally sound even though you see this distribution. I think we talked about Meta last week. This is expected after a retest up there, okay? And it fell down to the 618 golden ratio where the structure really is to recover from it and start to do the same thing, okay? Notice this. So you're not flopping around, okay? Same thing. That's why it's blocked off as NVIDIA, okay? So the question, if someone asks you, if someone started speaking, you know what? Right now, we're kind of like in a waiting period. It's not saying that you want to miss the breakout, but you don't want to be a part of any FOMO, fear of missing out either. But as for right now, there's really nothing going on. This is Meta on the day chart. That means we could go back as far as December 1st. Really nothing to be concerned with, okay? Dropping down into this range here. Hopefully this would be a good supply zone. You would have to start figuring that stuff out. I'm not going to break it down technically like that far, but in terms of structurally sound, yes, it is structurally sound from bouncing off that 618 coming up here. Of course, there's some resistance there. You have to jump in, do a deep dive, and figure those parts out. Okay. Other guy, of course, NVIDIA's running mate, AMD. Okay. Structurally sound, obviously bouncing off that range, that 198 range, of course. Okay. Harmonically sound, absolutely. You don't see three of these all paying off for no reason. Okay. um Gartley, Bat, and Cypher, the whole entire like family are right there. Now we don't know if this last one is going to live or get violated. He's kind of struggling. The green Cypher, he's valid, but we don't know if he's going to live or survive. He Kane Field slowed down, okay, but I don't know if he's going to make it. Still almost oversold, but still at this point, structurally sound decision needs to be made for AMD. Okay. So that covers pretty much, like I said, we wanted to take a look at US dollar to kind of like key in on that. We took a look at the tech sector. Wednesday's video, we're going to go somewhere else, maybe finance, maybe health, maybe agriculture, another one, because there's a sector for each line of stocks. The NASDAQ, same thing. Amazing how it looked just like XLK. Okay, so those two indexes looking the same. NVIDIA, same thing. Harmonically sound, structurally sound, moving sideways. Decisions need to be made. Same thing, same exact thing with Meta. Same exact thing with AMD. Okay, so now you kind of have a market layout. You can know what to expect for the tech indices sector. I suggest that you go and take a look at the XLK and start breaking it down yourself. Maybe go just do some analytics and go pull out maybe 5 to 10 of the stocks that are in XLK and go look at them the same way that you saw me do this, so that you can be advised and up to date on what's happening with the market, so nobody's lying to you, fooling you, and just whipsawing you all over the place, telling you this and that's happening when your eyes can tell you the story. Okay. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Share this one if you know someone that it could help. It had a lot of teaching and harmonic instruction in it, stuff like that. Okay, like the video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the Harmonic Trading Club, featuring the Harmonic Trading Academy. And we will be back Wednesday morning for another sector, whole different set of stocks, breaking it down in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion. That being said, you guys be good. Take care of yourself. Have an amazing week, and we will see you on the next